and welcome back to the Living Room Critics podcast, where yours truly, Fina, and
Wirth.
And we just want to say thank you. Welcome back to episode 3. Thank you for all the love and support on all the social medias. We appreciate you. And fun fact, if you listen till the end, you'll hear about the secret hangout on Facebook. Okay, all right. Anyway, okay, so this episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit different. All right, we ain't talking TV today, okay? We ain't talking about whatever celebrities are doing out on the streets, okay? We're going to be talking about good old classic books, okay? But here's the fun fact about the two of us. We are two different girls when it comes to books. Like, our books do... Our book styles, our preferences in reading will never meet the same frequency. Okay? Alright, so fun fact. For those who don't know, I used to have issues reading. I had reading comprehension issues. I couldn't tell you. I could tell you cat in the hat, but I couldn't freaking picture a cat in a hat. Okay? Things were not connecting, okay? And it took a very long time. And this poor woman over here, who always had a book in her hand, saw her poor daughter struggle, okay? Like, it was right?
Depressing.
And then, Harry Potter came out. I saw the first 2 movies. Then, I saw the yearning between Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley at the end of the second movie of Chamber of Secrets. And any smutty girl knows when there's yearning, there's going to be a smutty girl there. And what happened is, I remember my mom buying, I think, the first 3 Harry Potter books. Like, it was like the first set of it. And my mom had given it to me. She goes, here, try reading these. I tried. I couldn't. I don't know why I couldn't. Okay? All right? Until those movies came out. Saw the first 2 movies, saw the yearning at the end of the movie, and I needed book 3 that night. Came home, say, hey Mom, do you still have the Harry Potter movies or books? She goes, yeah. Can I have them, please? Opened them. And because I finished book 3, and I used to get in trouble in middle school, thank you very much. I was that girl who would rush through her assignment, then pull out the book and read while everyone else was finishing their assignment. Yeah, thank you, Harry Potter. Oh, Harry Potter is a gateway drug, and it is wonderful. It is a wonderful high. You were there. Let's just say a few summers ago when we went to Universal Studios with the family.
Oh yeah.
The first thing we did is we went to the Harry Potter universe world. Okay, in the Universal Studios, Hollywood.
She started crying. Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn. I don't.
And I had to buy her a butterbeer. She had to have a butterbeer.
I still crave butterbeer, and butterbeer, yes.
It's butterbeer month at work.
I'm well
until
aware.
the 31st.
Why do you think I am trying to get my husband to take the day off during spring break and go to Universal?
Oh, that's cool.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where I am the smutty girl. I am the smutty daughter. I love me some fantasy. I love me some thriller. I love dark romance. Okay, Haunting Adeline. Yeah, fun fact. I did not read for a good 10 years when I met my husband and we started to become a mom. It was hard to read. I was way too tired. And so about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, someone sent me Haunting Adeline. Little did I know how dark that really was, and that's not a beginner smutty book. All I gotta say is, for those who read that book and know how intense that is, what does that say about my mental health that I chose that as my first book back? With that said, Zeta Meadows is a book husband and not a book boyfriend. Oh yeah. Oh man, House of Mirrors, baby. Not telling you about that one, Mom. Can't.
I don't want to know.
So,
TMI.
I'm a spunny girl, but my whole life, I grew up with my mom. Like, if I was outside playing, my mom was, she wasn't a helicopter mom, but she always had eyes on me, and she always had a book in her hand. And it was always a biography of somebody. And I will admit, Mom, I can't understand your love for autobiographies, because it's like, why,
Or biographies.
why?
Because
Live.
it's true. It's real. I don't like reading fiction. The only fiction I read was the Harry Potter, I think the first book, and then Kerouac or Burroughs or Hunter Thompson, because those are considered fiction. That's the only. Otherwise, I like true crime, biographies, autobiographies.
Yeah, it as you can tell, I like to escape. I like my worlds. Mom likes what has happened in history and wants to relive it not multiple times.
No, but I just like to learn. I like to learn about people and how they became who they are.
And perspectives, I guess, too, huh?
When you read about other people, you learn other things that you can use in your life and maybe make your life better.
Okay, well, since I kind of did my little childhood to current story of reading, do you have, you know what? I don't think I've ever asked you this.
What?
Okay, obviously in your adult life, and I'm sure in your teenage life, you are a biography girl, true history moment girl.
Okay.
But, like, obviously you read like Dr. Seuss and stuff, but, like, did you read chapter books? Like, what kind of chapter books did you gravitate before you went to those?
No. In elementary school, I was reading biographies.
But, like, do you remember about...
It got to the point where I ran out of biographies in the school library.
Like, do you remember any of the biographies?
I read about Harriet Tubman, Eleanor Roosevelt. Those are the two that stood out because they were really incredible women who did incredible things.
Hashtag girl power.
Well, they made the world a better place.
Yeah, and they are
in their way.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're doing this episode because I learned something new about my mama. Okay, all right. So that's our little story time of what kind of readers we are and all of that. So I'm curious.
In the comments, tell us what kind of reader you are. What do you like? Do you like nonfiction, fiction? We want to know what you like.
Are you a Fina or are you a John Wirth?
You're such a wackadoodle.
Okay. Anyway, so with that said, yes.
Should I talk about my books?
Yeah, I was about to get okay, what are your two people that you are reading about
I'm
now?
almost done reading about Barbara Lamar. She was a silent movie actress. She died in 1926. She was an actress, a writer, a dancer, and just like this really cool girl. And she was known as the girl who was too beautiful for Hollywood. And it's written by Sherry Snyder. This is a really, really lovely book about her, and you get to learn the truth about Barbara, not what was written in Hollywood Babylon, which was a bunch of crap. And then my second book that I just started last week, I had gone to a book signing. Well, it was a poetry reading book signing for Richard Hell, and he's from the New York punk scene. My friend was reading it, and the book is I Dreamed I Was a Very Clean Tramp, and it's an autobiography of Richard. I was excited to go. It was in Venice. I went to Venice on the bus. I met a really cool person there. Him and I hung out. The poetry reading went great. It was really, really cool. Richard was great. And then when we went to go get our book signed, I had brought a print of Tomato from the Screamers, and I put it in a little frame.
That she photographed herself back in the day.
Yeah, at the Whiskey A Go Go in 1977. And I put it in a little frame, and I handed it to him first, and then I opened up the book so that he could sign. Like he signed here. And he took the picture. I don't recall hearing a thank you from him. Maybe he did. And then as he's going to sign my book, he goes, "You didn't buy the book here at the bookstore, did you?" And I just looked at him. He goes, "I'll make an exception this time. I'm sorry." I was so disappointed when I walked out. I have never met an author that did that. And I'm an author. I've published 3 books on my own. If anybody came to me at a book signing, I have never asked them, "Where'd you buy your book at?" I just sign it and give it to them. But that's just me. But I have to say, this book is really good. Richard so far has led an interesting life. And his poetry is really, really good. So that's my 2. What about yours, Sarah?
First off, before we get into my thing, hi, hello, I am the protective daughter. She is Mama Bear, who has created a mama daughter, who is also a mama bear of her own. Okay, alright, the only thing I gotta fucking say about that is, why does it matter he still has your fucking money?
I agree with you. Okay. Considering where the venue was at, you had to buy a ticket to be at this poetry reading, which and then in turn you could go to the book signing. But you had to buy a ticket. In that ticket, it should have said, "You must buy the book here. Do not bring books from home." And they didn't do that. So.
Richard Hall. You still hell. Richard Hall. You still have my mother's money, punk ass. Okay, hi, hello.
Yeah, I can see you two getting along really well.
At this moment, I'd rather deal with TG than him.
Oh.
Anyway, if y'all wonder what kind of daughter I am, you just learned. A beautiful bit of her. Did you miss her, Mom?
No, Sarah.
Okay, so, oh, thank you. I don't know.
Okay, you try it.
Call me Joan Rivers. Okay, anyway. All right, so what am I reading? Okay, so, like I said, I've read Haunting Adeline. Last year was the first full year of reading again after a 10-year book slump of like becoming a mom and all the things, all right? I had so many adventures last year. It was wonderful. I loved it.
I must have went through that too when I had you. Or I didn't read for that long too. Whoa.
I'm pretty sure for you it was shorter because you didn't have a second baby.
No, but it seemed like there was a period where all I was able to do was read a magazine at that.
Yeah, no, I could read articles online, but I couldn't commit to a book for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's a good hard.
Yeah, no, and when you come back, it feels so fucking good. Oh my god! Like I said, last year I had the best year.
Books are always your friends. And they'll take you on adventures you never thought you'd go on.
Exactly. I went to war college. I met Josh and Allie. I met Allie's cousin Junior. I didn't know I liked men on motorcycles and masks. Okay, all right. Hello. Like I said, Haunting Adeline. House of Mirrors. The car seat belt scene. I can't enter my husband's car without buckling in and going back to that scene. Thank you, Zaid Meadows. Okay, I had so much fun last year. Okay, and last year led me to acclimatize. Oh, we know about acclimatize. If you are a fantasy girl, if you are a Harry Potter girl, like I said before, you know the fanfic of Manifold. Okay, Manifold is the reason why I want a Kindle, so I could read it in peace, not knowing, without like breaking some
Like
kind of
ahead?
no. I can read it in peace and know that I didn't give someone else money. Okay? Because for those who don't know, Manifold is the fanfic of Hermione Granger and Draco Malfoy. Oh my god. Okay? And Sinlin Yu wrote that, and it's great. It blew up. If you know, you know. Alright? And I want to know. Anyway, so she got an opportunity to publish a book and get paid for it. So what she did is she basically rewrote Manifold and took out all the Harry Potter of it all. Okay? She changed the names. Hermione is now Helena. Draco is now Kane. And
I like those names though.
Oh yeah, oh no, it's great. Okay? It's and that is why we have over 1,000 books.
Why do you have all those little post-it notes in it?
Oh yeah, that is something that is new. So, my mom does not book annotate. I was raised to not annotate your book. You don't write in your book. You don't mark it. You just sit and enjoy it and all the things.
So this is your way of doing it without hurting the book, right? Kind of.
I have to tell you the truth.
Okay.
As I open. Wait, let's find a page that I
mean, Sarah.
No, but anyway.
Sarah, if you want to mark in your books, you go right on ahead. They're your books.
I know. It took me a few months. It was
I
a
don't
weird
like
thing.
people marking in my books or borrowing my books and not giving them back, which is why I don't loan my books.
Yeah. No, but anyway, in this book, mainly the main reason why it is tabbed is because
there's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big old book.
No,
but it is in 3 parts. The first, and the timeline is jumbled because basically Sinlin Yu, the way she wrote this, the first part is Helena, she's a prisoner, she meets Kane, she can't stand Kane. It turns into a whole housemaiden situation where like she has to like her body becomes like a vessel to create like these little these little like superhero babies and all the things. And you just think like, okay, like what the hell, Kane? Like, ugh, right? Then you get to part 2, which is like, I want to say 2, 3, maybe 5 years in the past. And you learn that Helena, when she was fighting on the other side, I'm trying not to give out too much, but you know, women, how we don't get full credit. Yeah, Helena did not get full credit. She got a fucking paragraph in the fucking book at the end. When you read, you'll understand. You'll understand that one little paragraph rant. But anyway, in part 2, you'll literally see her and Kane's relationship and everything, so that it's like you go to the past and then you come back into the future and you see how it ends, and it is a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster, and this book has left me in a book slump like no other. I finished this book in January, maybe February. I have attempted to start 2 books, now 3 books. Okay? And I am gotten so bored. Like, be aware of Acclimatize and the book slump that comes after it, but enjoy it. Like, honestly, all I really want to read is Manifold. Like, someone send me a Kindle. Like,
That's the one that you can either read on Kindle or publish or not, print it yourself, right?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. But if you print it yourself, it's $100 because it's like another $1,000 page book, you know. And then you have to get a binder and all the things. But like, there's people who on TikTok especially, you see them binding the books with really pretty covers and all of that. But politically correct, you're not supposed to sell other people's work. Like,
but hold on a minute. But the author made it available for anybody to print it, right?
she has publicly said, she goes, I would appreciate y'all not reprinting it. If you want to read it, I have it available here on my website.
Okay, I respect her for that.
So that is the main reason why she rewrote this. And plus, on top of that, Mom, she rewrote. I know. This postpartum. Wow. While she was late night feeds. She was.
I'm just saying, girl power stuff.
Exactly. When you know so much about the lore behind this book, that day when we found it in Target and I lost my mind. Now do you understand why I lost my mind?
But I bought it for you, right?
Yeah, and why do you think as soon as I got done with Phantasma and Enchantra, I was like, acclimatize now. You know?
I know it was a $35 book.
But when you go to Target, it's only $22. Yeah. So, alright, so I tried reading Allie Hazelwood after this. Allie Hazelwood is not my author. She's too basic. She's like, it looked like, I tried to read Bride and Mate and it was giving Twilight on a rated G rating. Like it was too Barbie doll. It was too clean. It was too right? Then I'm like, okay, all right, let's really switch it up because I do remember buying the Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies book series when that movie came out. Like, let's like really switch it up and maybe like some old literature zombie-ness. You know, like I love Bridgerton. I'm kind of craving this Regency situation. No, DNF that one. So now we're in Geneva Rose. Dating after the end of the world, and it's based. I have a feeling she wrote this around 2020 because it is kind of given like when you read it, like there's
we had the epidemic.
Yes, there's a moment like 6 feet apart. You know, if you know, you know.
That's during the poetry reading. The poems that he read were the ones he wrote during lockdown. They were good, but he was saying like. He goes, I missed the lockdown because I could just sit and write. And now that everything's opened up, I don't feel like I can sit and write.
And focus.
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't have kids. And what a blessing it would have been to have no kids during a pandemic and sit and focus on your work like that. Also, it's a one-in-a-lifetime moment. You either use the time wisely or you didn't. I was making babies, so I was making humans. You still made poetry. You still did the thing. Okay.
It's just funny.
I'm sassy. Okay.
You've
so
always been sassy.
I'm a sassy girl. Yeah, so basically it's kind of giving pandemic vibes, but also these people do turn into creatures, and last night's chapter, I was like, oh. This is like the pandemic meets Walking Dead. This is like the little story I created in my head. Because at one point during my pregnancy, when like I was 3rd trimester, lockdown just happened, and the headlines were too much, and I had to stay off my phone.
AJ.
Yeah, and like it was getting too.
That was crazy.
It was getting too much for me, and for my own mental health, and for the sake of AJ. I was like, I cannot be on social media. I am not looking at these headlines. No. So,
Sarah, just coming here on the bus when I was coming out, that was hell during the pandemic.
And the fact that we were so blessed and lucky, you coming back and forth and not like picking up anything, like bringing anything in here on top of you taking anything with you. we were highly blessed and highly flavored. That's all I gotta say. So that's where I'm at in the books. I'm praying I'm finishing this, because I will admit, because of the book annotating situation, I went from just highlighting whatever I wanted, whatever I liked, whatever pulled my heartstrings and made me think and feel and tingle and feel something. I would highlight it, and I would choose colors that were based on the book cover and just kind of like alternate colors throughout the chapter. But because of this book slump, I was like, let's annotate in a different kind of way. So I went into ChatGPT. I said, I am reading Dating at the End of the Road by Geneva Rose. These are the 4 colors I want to use. I basically went off of the cover, as you can see. Purple, magenta, orange, and yellow. And I said, give me 4 themes that I could look for, that I could annotate. And it was like, one was for like grieving. One was like love and romance. One was survival. One was hope. I'm like, okay, all right, this is the guide. And then it was also very reminiscent to like when I was having reading comprehension issues and I was in RSP. So I was like, okay, this now feels familiar, and I'm not getting graded, so this feels fun. So thank you, ChatGPT. So fingers crossed. I will keep you posted. That's another thing. I will be talking about this on my personal social media, and if you want to find our personal social medias on top of the ones for the Living Room Critics podcast, check the description down below. Plus, like I said, remember that hangout I told you about? We have a private Facebook group. The link will also be in there as well. So make sure you go hit link, follow, make yourself known, say hello, don't be strangers on the wall.
Leave a comment. Even if it's bad, leave a comment. We want to know.
We're big girls, we can handle it. So, we will, and I'll even keep you posted on the podcast, I'm sure. When I finish it, I'm sure that week I'll ham it and take off my shirt and hello to my sweat bra. Probably not. But you know the meme. If you know, you know. Because at this point, to finish a book would be nice. Oh, I also even did I guess I did finish a book between Alchemize and now, if you count audiobooks, because I did listen to the Lisa Rinna book, and yeah, she does, I was like, oh, you better believe I'm going to talk about it, and yeah, she talked about it. It's definitely worth a 6-hour headphone moment while you are getting shit done around the house and being a mom, for anyone who knows. So.
That's scary. That's just scary.
All right. So, we're just gonna end it here. What's next week?
We have punk stories.
All right. Well, you heard it here. So it looked like next week we're gonna go and talk about punk history. You're gonna know more about her growing up. Well, I guess my growing up too, because it did affect the way I grew up. Because God forbid,
Sarah considers herself punk rock royalty.
No, but also God forbid if I liked pop music. Oh my God,
I didn't give you shit. Oh my God, you listened to the Spice Girls.
Spice Girls because it was British, but like there was.
Okay, but that was pop. I never said, oh my God, you can only listen to punk rock music. Oh my God. Sarah.
No, but like also, okay, for those who don't know, I love me some Britney Spears, but I didn't feel comfortable to be all, oops, I did it again like my cousin was. Like Stephanie. I didn't ask for a Britney Spears autograph. That ended up being fake anyway, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, Sarah, but you got a signed No Doubt CD that your godmother got for you.
Yes, and then 20 years later, I got a picture with Gwen Stefani and it like...
Yeah, she got to meet her idol at where she was working. Yeah, Gwen came in.
We will talk about this next episode.
Yeah, let's leave it for that.
Yes.
Okay, bye everybody.
And don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit like and follow and do all the things. Help us with engagement. Share us out. Share us like.
Yeah, talk about us at your office. Tell them about it.
If you have an office or whoever, just whore us out like the whores we want to be. Just kidding.